was told four-quadrant, that thing. But before moving on to that four-quadrant, I will add many more quadrants also. Because please, one thing, please try to understand very clearly. I am also a teacher like you, and at the same time, whether it's a fortunate or unfortunate, we become the trainers mode also. And it all started around 15 years back, around 14 years back, when I went to US, from there Australia. There is some conference. Then I come across this learning management system called Moodle, and we had a chat. I was in University of Hyderabad, went for a some PhD viva. Then suddenly, while talking to the director, and we came to know that I said, why don't we start this kind of a training program? And he was looking up and down to me saying that, यार पता नहीं पागल हो गया क्या, ये सारी चीज इतना करना जरूरी है? I said, no sir, I thought maybe, I don't know, at least 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, this particular technologies could be very much useful either in the blended mode, or this is what I'm talking about 14 years back. Then he said reluctantly, of course he half agreed. He said, okay, come. So I used to reach Hyderabad at least 2 days before, and they provided me a server. I installed the softwares, configured the network. I am during that time, almost I am an associate professor, senior level. The point in this case is, but since the passion, because technology is an edge, there is no doubt about it. But at the same time, since then, so many things have been happening right now. But last 6.5 months, whatever the transition which I have noticed, what I feel it personally, just now I think Dr. Vikram has rightly mentioned that some participants said beginner, some participants advanced, and there is no such thing here, because again, innovation, creativity, and the quality improvement is a continuous process. It's not a one day job. For example, you may be an excellent teacher in a classroom environment, top class auditor, orchestrator, and many things can be done. When it comes to the online, and the expectations are different. Already there are certain benchmarks are there, and already people, it's easy to comment saying that no, ye sahi nahi hai, wo sahi hai, all this thing, all sort of things used to be there. So what I'm trying to say that we will try to pitch in such a way that I think Dr. Vikram has rightly mentioned that some of the things need to be done in this manner. So I have a presentation, friends, and using that presentation, I will take you to the next stages. And at the same time, as I already told you, being an opening batsman, I'll give you some task also, because this workshop is not only a theoretical conceptual building, it's a practical hands-on orientation, because ultimately our purpose is to see that after the end of this workshop, we will be continued to that. Let me bring one more dimension also here. I think Dr. Vikram also will agree. The WhatsApp group which has been created, we will continue for at least 30 more days, because I'm there as a member. I'm happy to extend the support of the members after 30 days, even till 30 days of this workshop, after the workshop is over. It is primarily for the two reasons. Because my own experience says, when we explain something in a systematic manner in a classroom teaching like this, it looks pretty simple. But शायद आप लोग नहीं कहेंगे, हम दिल्ली वाले कहते हैं हमारा बाएं हाथ का खेल है. अरे कौन सी बड़ी बात है? अरे हम तो भाई यार छोड़ो ना यार, ये तो ऐसे बता रहे हैं. But when it comes to the implementation, there actually every one of us started feeling that यार कोई support मिल जाए तो बढ़िया रहता है. So that's the reason, and I am part of 755 WhatsApp groups and 200 Telegram groups, and we all collectively learning, and that's where the kind of inputs which I've been I wish we can continue over also here. Okay, let me make a presentation of my presentation. And everything is available on my site. You need not, don't worry about the PPTs, patane sir with denge, nahi denge. Everything is there on my site. You can use it, reuse it, revise it, remix it without giving any attribution to me. That is also. Okay, so I'm that nature which I've been going to tell. All right, let me share my screen with you all. And if there is any problem, Vikram, when my voice is not coming, and please let me know. Accordingly, I will
Sure, sir.
find
Sure.
it once again. Huh?
Right.
Okay. And so friends, Vikram, just confirm to me that my screen is visible on your my PowerPoint is visible.
Till now, it is not, sir.
Uh,
Yes.
uh,
So it is
is
showing.
it
Yeah, it is presenting, but the content is not visible to our machines or to our systems.
uh, what happened? It is saved because is or shall I stop it and do it once again?
Yes, sir. That will be the idea.
Be better then. Okay, so let me do it once again. It's saying that you are presenting. I'll stop it.
Right.
I'll stop it. Yeah. Maybe your entire screen I'm presenting, and is it coming over there?
Yeah. Sir. Still now, yeah. It is just initializing, uh, but still content is not visible. Same thing. I mean,
Oh, very surprised. Still it is not coming over there.
no, sir. It's not visible.
Or can I do one thing? Can I log off and log in once again by any chance? Because my
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm
Yes, we can
having
do.
I'm having a good bandwidth. I never. Let me just log out and
Sure,
log
sir.
off and log back.
Right.
Just give me a few minutes time.
Sure. Okay, so till the time Professor Srinivas joined us, so actually for all the resources related to this FTP, we have created a Google Drive folder with us. So we will be sharing the link of that Google Drive by the second session of the day, and we will be storing all the possible resources, PPTs, video recordings, and everything on that Google Drive folder. Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I just logged in once again. Mm, I fail to understand very surprising because there is one small facility which is blurring is on and off. That's the only thing which I. Is it still not coming, Vikram?
Yes, sir. Let me see. Yeah, this time I think it will work.
Yeah.
So,
Fine also.
but this PPT is still showing as a blurred. I mean, it is a blurred screen which is appearing at our machines.
I think maybe that may be the reason. I think
Yes.
that the blurriness has to be. I think I need to switch off that blurriness minimum.
Yes.
Maybe now you can able to see the.
It is perfectly available, sir. Perfectly visible.
Yeah. Could be that could be the reason. Now just confirm me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, friends, I think this is the point which I just want to start with during this workshop, because it's all building the competencies of teachers for the online teaching. So what are the competencies need to be built, and what is actually meant by online teaching, and is it is a technological bit or pedagogical or in instructional design or content, and many doubts are there. So we will try to cover up those things during this presentation part of it. Okay.
So
And
one thing, this screen is again getting blurred actually. So I don't know because of some options. we need
No,
to
no,
see the options. Yes.
my blur is off. Actually, what happened? Um, uh, no, my blur option is off actually.
Yeah, it's okay now. I mean, it's now okay.
No, maybe that's what I've been saying. Actually, there is a facility. G Meet is provided,
Right.
so I just take off that one.
Right.
The first important point is being a teacher is not so easy. This is a very important message I just want to give to you all. And because, we are all typical conventional classroom based teachers. And of course, even though we teach engineering, sciences, social sciences, humanities, whatever it may be, and we were tuned, and because when you did master's degree, doctorate degree, postdoc degree, when you come to the teaching profession, the process will be totally different. And initially we followed our senior professors, heads of the departments, how they are teaching, and we imitated sometime. Then later, of course, with our creativity, we got improvised. So we need to strive for the best to become a perfect teacher. And perfect is again a quote unquote kind of a word, which you have to strive for the best. And suddenly that is one part of it. Then of course we have technology added into that, and then subsequently the MOOCs came, and now finally this pandemic. And this pandemic, it is being forced on us, and many institutions are taking, we should also take it. So how do we want to be? See, I'm a perfect teacher, it takes some more time. How do we want to be a teacher in an online teaching environment? And it is the effort which we have been doing in this workshop. So we had to learn. Even I'm telling you, having seen, and I've been using many such applications and teaching, that there are still, I feel it in my case, a lot of scope for the improvement also. It's not the subject, it's not your position, it's not your communication. How you will deliver on that particular time is matters a lot. This is what precisely I wish to say here. So we all know one practical problem, this COVID-19 and with the higher education, because of this pandemic situation and safety, both the teachers and students have been driven out of their campuses to safety of their homes. So what happened? So both the groups, and I think somebody is saying that faculty only need to know all these things. No, students also. It is more difficult to work with the students, because again, whether we like it or not, I must say one word called, we were in the comfort zone. Okay, we were tuned to a certain system for quite some time, and suddenly when we want to move towards the new this new normal, it creates a lot of issues and concerns. What are the issues which we are grappling with in this case? First and foremost thing, when we want when in online teaching, the first issue is about the pedagogy. What pedagogy is going to be used? And so many theories people have been talking about. Second thing is, what is the role of this instructional design, and what instructional design is going to be used? The third important thing is about the assessments. Without assessments, even I'm not talking about engineering and any stream, we cannot even conduct the we cannot even promote the students, because there are different levels we had to manage it. And the last but not the least is about the resources. And and this is one of the biggest thing people have to say, no, ye nahi hai, wo nahi hai, where to do it, how do we get into it, all sort of things. So these are the of course there are many other issues are there, but let me to begin with, to start my discussion, let me focus on this. From there I will build up my lecture into this. During this workshop time, I think in general, all these things are going to be covered in detail about that. Okay. And okay, everybody is saying that no, this is a pandemic, hum ghar pe 6 mahine se ghar pe baithe hue hain, and it is not wise, it is not good, it's not bad. I don't know why we want to be judgmental about the online teaching right now. The process is, it was started, see, barring few institutions which have been started long back. Again, teaching is an art, teaching is a science, teaching is both, and you require different passion to teach. whether with technology, without technology. I think I may allow to say a small anecdote which happened with me.
Sir, one thing we need to check. Clear our screen. This PPT is not visible. Have you shared the content?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
PPT content is not visible to your screen, or maybe the desktop
It's
screen
very
is directly
blurred.
visible.
Very blurred, is not visible at all.
1 minute. Let me. No.
We are assuming that we have the formal discussion. So before PPT.
No. Actually,
Yes.
Actually, there is a facility called Blur. Blur has been. Is it common for everyone? Is having the same difficulty?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So this PPT is not yet initialized, sir.
No. 1 minute. I think give me 2 minutes time. I think let me come back again. Huh? Let me come back again. Because since yesterday, this Blur facility has been enabled. Maybe that may be creating a problem. Just give me 2 minutes time. Just give me 2 minutes time. Yeah. I think you in the meanwhile you engage Vikram. I'll just come back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sure, sir. So, okay, let me share my own tab, one of the Chrome tabs. So that's what we have done. We have actually created. This screen is visible. So we have created this Google Drive folder to store all the possible resources related to this FDP. So we will be posting different resources on different folders. Like, so here we have posted our experts bio, and we will be posting parts certification at the end of the FDP. Then we will be keeping FDP recordings here. So likewise, we will be posted some of the snapshot of. We will be sharing the link of these Google Drive folders to the participants so that they can access the content on daily basis, right? So yes, good morning, sir. Satan, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Dr. Vikram. Sorry, I got late. In fact, I was there with Director sir in the inaugural of a different short-term course that was there on smart grid technologies and all. So I apologize to you and all others connected in this program, and I hope that the honorable speaker is there with us, who will be joining.
Yes, sir. So basically, we have started our session because of some technical issue. Sir has just disconnected, and he will be connecting with us.
All right.
So we have formally started the discussion for the session 1.
All right. So do we have somebody from Bikaner as well?
Yes, sir. From Bikaner, Professor sir was there. Yes, sir. And other coordinator of this FDP. So now I think Professor K. Srinivas is reconnected with us. So Professor K. Srinivas, right now just Professor Satan has just joined.
Yes, sir, namaskar, and I welcome personally from my side as well. I extend very warm welcome to you. Really an honor to have you, in the first session, the inaugural session of this wonderful program that we have so designed for the benefit of all the faculty members and the students connected around these, these online platforms. Anyway, these are going to be the platforms to be used not only for a reasonable period of time, but maybe for longer. So I think this is very appropriately planned and joined by being organized by NIT Kurukshetra and Engineering College Bikaner. We are networked with each other to TechIP program, Technical Education Quality Improvement Program, and that's how we are organizing this student. And I congratulate the team, and Dr. Vikram, Dr. Anu Patel, and the coordinators from Engineering College Bikaner, Dr. Ritraj Soni, and I think Madam Poonam, and the technical coordinator there, Dr. Jakhar. So I welcome all of you, especially Professor K. Srinivas, for being present on the inaugural session. And I welcome all the participants to this STTP. And with that note, I wish all the very best to the course and to everyone, to the coordinators. Thank you so much. Namaskar.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Vikram, I think I hope it is now visible.
The screen is visible, but we need to see the PPTs, PPT content. So
no, I have opened my PPT now.
No, sir, it's not visible.
It's not only desktop screen is visible to us, sir.
No. But in my case, it has started. It has opened. it is saying it is running it. Yeah, it is saying it's in presenting. I'm in a presentation mode.
Yes, sir, that's okay, sir. So can we try once like sharing a file, like in whenever we try to present the option? Yes,
okay.
sir.
No, the same
So,
thing. I stop my presentation.
Right, sir.
Okay, and one thing.
So,
let me use 1 minute.
Window. So there are 3 options for sharing: entire screen and window. So can we try to share window, sir?
Yeah,
Window particular PPT.
no, I'll try the alternative option also.
Right. Yeah, now it's visible.
it's
so this
visible.
PPT is visible, sir.
Perfect now.
Yeah, just a minute. Is it okay now?
Yes.
Now it is okay, sir. Now it is
Yes,
okay.
final,
Right.
sir. Finally, yes, thank you, sir.
Anyway, this I sometimes it happens, and it's good for the system also. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, just confirm to me, Vikram.
Yes, sir.
My screen is visible, and my voice and my video is also coming on the screen, right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Both are perfect.
Yeah. Okay, I think friends, let's move on. So the need of the hour, because people have been asking me that is it and one way I think it rightly mentioned by sir. Let's make use of this lockdown and of course unlocking period as an opportunity and relevant to the present situation. That is very important. And why I've been saying that, because the knowledge which you are going to gain during this workshop and the subsequent sessions, hands-on both, because hands-on cannot be work in isolation. You need to have a concept building. You need to plan your course, because what is happening is earlier in a conventional classroom-based teaching, you will be there only 4 walls of the classroom. Whatever you teach, it's okay. But when it comes to the online mode now, and everything is, people have been asking, people have been checking whether he has been teaching, and it's easy to be probed also. Probing is a very asan kaam hai, kisi aur ke baare mein bolna tha. So, but at the same time, we are doing our best to see that what best can be delivered on. Second point is, as I think Dr. Vikram has rightly mentioned, that some faculty members are saying, sir, we are at the beginning stage. So this is what precisely for them only I marked it. Engage the students continuously by interacting with them. Don't talk, it's a class. And when we start engaging with the student, first and foremost thing, tell them that this is the platform we are going to use. Be it be a Moodle platform, be it be a Google Classroom or Edmondo or any other simple Canvas and any platform you can take, or WhatsApp or Telegram, whatever it may be. First and foremost thing, you should be comfortable. And then only you can make the things comfortable with the students. If you are a first and foremost thing, be comfortable, number one. Second important thing is, you should be a hands-on man. If you are a hands-on man, then only you can your throw will be totally different. Otherwise, it will be a theoretical kind of a thing. And third important thing, it's a time to adopt the change, no doubt about it. And because so many options are available for us, so it is if you don't use this option to further update, things may not happen, even though and entire thing is revolving around the technology and technology enabled tools and processes. So I just want to bring and caution you, one small important thing is about the technology, and please always keep in mind these 5 important things. Number one, technology is not a miraculous cure for educational ailments. That's very, very true. Okay, and but generally what happened, especially and my biradari of computer science people often say, अरे यार तेरे को ये भी नहीं आता. अरे भैया नहीं आता है तो पढ़ाना पड़ता है हमें. See, please to never use such things that, yes, by minute of the things. Even recently, day before yesterday, one of my close friend called me. He said, yaar, I couldn't able to upload something into my Google Drive. I said, fine. And my daughter is saying, Papa, uncle को ये भी नहीं आता. मैंने कहा बेटा नहीं आता है तभी पूछ रहे हैं. And you don't know that what he knows, and world may not be knowing him that he knows many things. So my point is, it is always a scope for improvement. So second important thing is very, very, very important for me. effectiveness of the technology is directly proportional to the competence and intention of the user. Because online teaching always says it's like a triangle. In one side hardware, second side enabling software, third side is the humanware. I should say that because ultimately it is the human being. Even though we talk about the artificial intelligence, we talk about many other things, especially in India, because having a diversified systems are there, it takes some more time. So teacher is indispensable. So the importance of the teacher is the competence of the teachers are very important. It's not a one-time job. We need to constantly build the confidence on the teachers. May it be an assistant professor, may it be associate professor or a vice chancellor, irrespective of the positions. Positions won't matter when you teach in a class. Okay, and intention also. Positive intent is very important. Many times we may, and I think I was just paused it when last time before the slide. Around 8-9 months back, I was invited for in university to conduct a workshop for 2 days. This online teaching. It's basically a 10 days workshop. When I went over there, I was told there is a huge power outage there in the university, and I was told the university will be shut down for 2 days. I said, okay. Then in the morning we used to have a cup of tea with the participants. One participant came to me and very sarcastically said, "Sir, आप IT वाले हैं." Let me explain in Hindi, then I'll come back to in English. आप IT वाले हैं, बिना power के, बिना PowerPoint के क्या पढ़ाएंगे? He said, "Sir, you are the IT guys, and without power and PowerPoint, how can you teach?" I said, first of all, I'm a teacher. Leave about the computer science background and blah 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 other things. I said, I started my career when there is no power and there is no PowerPoint. And subsequently, we are in a position to teach many other things. Then I said, look, gentlemen, I don't see that this is what the reality which you are talking about. Anyway, do one thing, that what you are going to do after 9 o'clock today. Arey, nice, sir, it's a waste of time for us. I said, don't waste of time. And why don't we added the tables in the dining hall, and there are 85 participants are there. And believe me, friends, by 9:30 sharp, the class started. And everybody is asking me the question, without power, without PowerPoint, how you will teach and how you start the building the competencies of the teachers for the same theme which you are looking on your screen. I said, look, it's my botheration. Why should you bother? First and foremost thing, you close your eyes and just sit, relax. If you want, you can write down on a piece of paper. I will try to see if you can cooperate with me. We can take it to this one. Class went on up to 4 o'clock. There is a break up half an hour. Then in the meanwhile, the guide came and the vice chancellor sir came to me to meet me. He said, "Oh, I don't know why you are conducting class like this." Everybody said, "Sir, this is a different experience we are experiencing." So what is important in this case? Setting up of the environment. Technology cannot override the human being. And again, I'm telling you, technology and what is important is depends on the situation. How do we set up the environment is the matters most. It's not, technology is only editing to that. It's like an antibiotic. The right dose is helpful, wrong dose is harmful. Technology is not only tools, it includes techniques also. This is what precisely we also had to work on that. And last point, very important, is technology is a means, not an end. Okay, before moving on to the next slide, what I want to show in this case is the effectiveness of the tech, because online teaching is technology driven processes. Okay, but technology is only 1%. Teaching and teacher and teaching environment and the students pass 99%, but 1%, and it makes the ups and downs. And so it is directly proportional to the competence and intention of the competence in terms of the subject, the competence in terms of the commitment, the competence in terms of the on getting into the online teaching and all. These things matters a lot. I hope Vikram, my screen is okay.
Yes, perfectly okay, sir.
Great. So what was the redefining role? Let me add some of the new educational policy perspectives also, because even though I have not mentioned on the top of it here, and this is one of the redefining role this new education policy is talking about. I am part of one committee where this National Educational Technology Forum, and we are of course working out the operationalization of the and a new education policy perspective. So what is this role which the redefining role is pushing from the push mode of a learning to the pull mode of a learning? In the push mode of a learning, we are very comfortable in the typical conventional classroom teaching, where here the issue is about yes, the teacher comes and delivers the lectures, and that's a push while things have been there and it will remain. So what we are talking about, the learner centric, the first mode we call it as a centralized learning model, and now the second mode is talking about the learner centric or a learning centric environment. In the learner-centric and learning-centric environment, you must have seen that, of course, we call it as a pull mode of a learning. And this is where we need to start, we need to change the environment along which we have been doing many of the engineering colleges. Of course, we have a OBE, because I am part of many academic audits I used to conduct, and this is what precisely I have looked at. But again, apart from engineering, there are sciences, social sciences, humanities, and many other disciplines are there. You can see here what is the new normal which we need to create among the students is apart from the classroom, they can join the self-paced courses and take advantage. They can take the advantage of the public internet, knowledge databases, virtual classes, or many other aspects, so that they when it comes to the class, that means when the teacher creates the classroom environment, whether it's a virtual environment or a face-to-face environment or a blended environment, he has to bring that into this. This is where the role of a technology will work, and it has got many other things as such. The same thing which Albert Einstein also said, which I quote, he said, "I do not teach anyone, I only provide the environment in which the learning happens." So what is important for the teacher point of view, the environment should be set up. I think this is where people have been saying why it is not coming, students are not interested. No, why? Because the problem is we are saying that I am teaching to you, you had to come. So there are other methods also, because we still in the mindset of the lecture method, chalk and talk method. Even when we move towards the online teaching, I will be talking about that part as such. And there is a famous quote of Alvin Toffler. Many of you must have been learned, and is talking about the learn, unlearn, and relearn. You know why? How high interpreting this? You have been attending so many seminars, so many workshops. Must have attended last 6 months. What is the takeaways of the workshop? And what way you are going to implement this? As I already told you that always for every workshop there is some learning. Definitely there is certain portion of unlearning, and surely there is a portion of a relearning also happens. Because if you want to constantly improve, please try to understand. It's not the subject, it's not your postdoc degree, it's not your doctorate degree in IIT. That's not matters. How you delivers there on that particular time. And you know, because we have different types of students in the class: slow learners, average learners, gifted learners, introverts, extroverts, and language is still coming is an issue. And of course, techno novices, all sort of kids would be there in the class. And because the problem is we are carrying a lot of baggages also. No, in IIT JEE JOSA I got this much ranking, and advanced I got this much ranking, main I got this much ranking. Arey yaar, wo raat gayi to baat gayi. You got an admission into NIT Kurukshetra, that's all. Those things gone. But still many kids are carrying that one, and still it will be taking time for them to come back to. So that's the role of the teacher has to play into this part. And many of you must have read this book, and if you have not read this book, I request you to kindly go through this book by Dr. Spencer Johnson. A wonderful book. He talks about the Who Moved My Cheese. And in this book, he very nicely talks about the adapting the change. Very, very important. If you do not change, and he says very clearly, you can become extinct. And many times people used to ask me that, sir, क्या नौकरियां निकालेंगे? अरे नहीं, कुछ नहीं करेंगे. आपको instead of teaching, instead of research, आपको तोड़ फोड़ कमेटी का चेयरमैन बना देंगे, मिड डे मील्स का चेयरमैन बना देंगे, या परचेज कमेटी का चेयरमैन बना देंगे. टीचिंग नहीं होंगे. बस that itself is the extension of a teacher, because our job is to teach, our job is to research, our job is to do the quality research, and of course quality publications. This is what it is talking about. Okay, let me come to now. I think I have already shared probably in your WhatsApp group, and this is the site where if you type profksrinivas.in, this is showing, this is my learning portal, which I have been using for quite some time. And let me give you a small orientation to this one, how I am teaching it. So there are two types of people are using this particular site. Number one is general participants like you, who can visit my site and able to see some of the reading material and other online teaching related tools, techniques, and and some videos and outdoor. Apart from that, my students are also there. If you look at on the right top corner, I'm just highlighting over there. You can see there is a login. My students will log into the site, and so what is this platform is all about? This is my asynchronous learning platform, where as per my lesson plan, as per my objectives of the paper which I'm teaching, I'll provide the reading material or resources to my students well in advance, and I expect them to come prepare for my class. This is the place. The second important thing is not only the just reading material, I'll also ask them to go through the be a part of a collaborative learning environment, which I call it as a discussion forum in our MOOCs terminology. But it's basically a collaborative learning environment where I'm also one of the members. These all things happen 1 week before the start of my class. So, and at the same time, I'll create several groups also, and a combination of the people will be kept into that. And every participant, every student is expected to be part of that that group, and they had to make their messages, so that if you know it, you should support the others learning. That is what my motto is all about. It's not like that what you know is not known to show, but you should support the others learning. And and finally, on that day of the interaction, I used to meet. So this was the pre-COVID period. Before the COVID period, I used to use the same platform, but the only difference is I used to go to the class, and I used to meet the students there in the class. And when the COVID was announced, and I said very clearly that, look, this asynchronous platform will continue, but meeting you in the classroom will not happen because of this security, because of the safety measures and social distancing measures. I will continue to interact with you because we are using the Google Meet. And so the changeover was so quick. So many times the students started saying, sir, actually we couldn't able to see you live. I said, look, if you can't be with you on live, you can able to use my platform, and where already reading material was there. I'm very much available there in that platform. And we started conducting the internal assessments and all type of auto-graded, peer-reviewed, teacher-reviewed assessments has been conducted. And very importantly, I focus mostly on application level questions rather than the knowledge level questions, and all these things has been done. So why I'm trying to say that, but then many of you must be thinking that, sir, जैसे मैं आपके site open करता हूँ, it is showing a lot of links to us. Is it the same way your student can able to see? I said, no. I have made the system in such a way, people like you are guests to me, to my site. Okay, when the resource persons are going to deal with this the Moodle learning management system, they will be going to explain to you that how to set up the different enrollments on a site. So once you land up on my site, it looks like a guest to me, so that you could able to access. But whereas my students, every student will get a username and password, and there are certain expectations were clearly drawn for that one. That is the power of this. This is one of the tool which will be explained in detail about this, which has got so many options as such. Okay, and so this is the one part. So the first part is, as I mentioned in the beginning, the pedagogical part, because there is issues with the pedagogy. So the one of the pedagogy which is being quite comfortably being used, which has got a as per the research, which has got a success rate, good success rate, is the flipped classroom pedagogy. So when you are and this is working both online and offline, but I'm focusing mostly on the online mode as such here. So in the and basically this is an activity based approach, and in this activity based approach, the role of a teacher will be changed from the sage on the stage to the guide on the side. And in this particular pedagogical approach, what is the advantage? This is what I have demonstrated, I just explained a few minutes back. What is the approach which says? And the approach is, and in the course materials are introduced outside the class, class in the sense here, both virtual and face-to-face. Okay, and if it is a face-to-face, is okay, otherwise virtual class. And in class time is repurposed for inquiry, application and assessment in order to better meet the needs of the individual learners. So what happened, this is what precisely I have explained to you, that provide the reading material to the students, give them some activity, and before coming to the class. So what happened here? Two important things. And I generally tell my students very clear, it is our course, not my course or your course. And it is, I am also having an equal responsibility to engage and teach and to take you to that. Because there are three different levels we teach. First of all, we start with the basics. Once the basics understood, then we'll go for the advanced level. When basics and advanced understood, then we'll go for the application level. And I'll tell you one thing. I'm handling two different sets of students. Currently, I work in a social science and humanities university, where mostly we focus on application. And also I'm an adjunct professor in one of the other university, where completely different set of students are there. But the methodology, because why I've been saying one side social science, one side engineering, but this kind of a pedagogy which is giving a pre-advantage to the student. But again, I'm telling you, it's not a overnight students will change, teachers will change. And it takes some effort to do this one, because again, I'm telling you, teaching is an art, teaching is a science, teaching is both, and you need to have a different passion, you need to have a different jazba to teach it, and if you want to have a good quality teacher. Okay, so that is the pedagogical part. Next comes the instructional design, because I'm not going in detail about this stuff, because basically my purpose is to tell how to get into the online mode. So one of the important issue of the online teaching is the pedagogy. The second important thing is about the instructional design. So one of the model which is very prevalent, and we are all comfortably knowing that instructional design approach is the MOOCs four-quadrant approach. Dr. Vikram, is it okay?
It's okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So one of the four-quadrant instructional design approach which has been already used in our SWAYAM program is the four-quadrant approach. Quadrant 1 is e-tutorials, quadrant 2 is e-content, quadrant 3 is assessments, and quadrant 4 is discussion forum. We can also use the same instructional design approach in our which is being followed in the MOOCs in our online courses also. But what are the things to be considered while doing so? That is very important. You can see it here. And there are certain myths, and there are certain carriers people have been saying. Online course is not a simply traditional face-to-face course replicated on a computer screen. This is one of the important statement I want to make it. So we know very well that there are certain goals are there, certain learning outcomes are there. We had to achieve that. Okay, and so the key difference in this case is maybe because if the internet connectivity is good, students can come, or they do rely partly on the face-to-face interaction to learn the content, if everything. But whether it is they rely completely on face-to-face or partially rely on the face-to-face, one thing is very important: the communication and the feedback are highly important, and it should be structured accordingly. These are some of the hints which I've been saying while these are the instructional design issues to be understood. So communication, very important, very important. And you all remember that those of you who are there in the initial days of the NPTEL, when we join a course, we used to receive more than 15-20 messages. And then finally, even many of my good friends are there in NPTEL. I used to tell them, "Yaar, mujhe tang kyun karte ho? Yaar, galti se maine tera course join kar liya." They said, no, we want to bring the people into that, because that kind of an attitude was not there during that time. And second important thing is feedback. So every stage, I'm going to show you, there are many other aspects also to be there into that. And what are the other things, other instructional design issues to be considered? First point, it should be the instructor-led and student-centered, very important. And the 21st century thing, recently the Honorable Prime Minister, while addressing this Shiksha Parv, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने यही कहा था कि and this 21st century skills, both in the school education as well as in the higher education, they want to add into that part of it also, which is already there, and they want to give more focus on that, like collaborative learning, student pacing, team building skills, and very importantly, whatever format it is there, whatever the expectations that the teachers are having, and whatever the instructions you want to give, it should be clear and concise. And the last point, very important point, the activities and assessments should account for different learning styles. So these are all the important inputs to be considered. Ab sawal hai, I'm just giving a small example. Haan, sir, I completely agree with you. Sir, how can we set up the collaborative learning environment? See, Moodle, the Swayam platform, Swayam, you all know very well that it was built on the course builder application, which is being provided by the Google. But whereas in one of the important quadrant instructional design approach, which is being followed very strictly in Swayam, is the discussion forum. And whereas here in this particular Moodle environment, Moodle learning management system, there are 6 types of discussion forums are there. So what I'm trying to say, why don't the teachers are encouraging the students to join this one? Not necessarily every time teacher must be there. Not necessarily every time teachers mentoring is required. And but try to see that what best can be possible, and they could able to use that. And similarly, a small reference. Many of us knows the part of the many Google groups, but unfortunately Google group is being used only for the mass mailing system. But in the Google group, other than the listserv, there are some other options are there which facilitates the collaborative learning environment. Why don't we encourage those things? This is what precisely I have been saying that. Okay, and but Google Classroom having a stream kind of a thing, but cannot be called as a perfect discussion forum kind of an environment. But there, one of the advantages, you set up an outside environment, and that environment can be connected over there, like Jamboard. One of the visual option which many of the software development teams are using so comfortably, working at different places, so that can be integrated. Padlet, हम सबको पता है, we have been using that collaborative working environment. Even Google Drive has it. Why I'm trying to say that these are some of the examples. I think during the course of this workshop, these things will be demonstrated. So we covered two important things. One is about the pedagogy, and which is a flipped classroom. Second one, the issues to be addressed in the instructional design. And you need not go for any other instructional design approach, because one of the method which is very prevalent, and but what is the take you can take is while designing your course. For example, quadrant 1 is talking about the e-tutorials, and then you need to pitch in your class. Are we going to start with the basic level of understanding? Are we starting the topic in the advanced level of understanding or application level? Because since you provide some reading material and basic reading material, this is what I test with my students. I provide a few of the basic one video, and mostly the material in the textual form or the articles or all algorithms kind of a thing. I'll see that if their understanding level, I'll set up some few parameters to see that whether they could able to catch up that. If I see that 50%, more than 50% can able to catch that and they can able to do that, and so then generally I will go for the next stage. But most of them they couldn't able to understand, and it is going in a different direction, so definitely I will pitch in. So why I'm trying to say that teacher is indispensable, whether it's in conventional classroom teaching or online teaching. But generally what happened, but our roles are going to be changed in this part. Now, the third important problem which I said in the beginning is about the resources. And there is a big hue and cry about the resources. Arey, online teaching mein resources kahan hai, content banana padega, studio nahi hai, ye nahi hai. And people are asking me in this COVID period, many institutions are asking me, sir, how much money will be spent on the setting up of the studio? Why are you setting up a white elephant? Because our entire money and our effort is on eradicating this pandemic. So there is no need to set up any studio in the beginning with. First of all, you'd see that there is a word called return of investment. I have seen some institutions where hardly one video will be bought, and setup of cost is one. Second one is recurring cost. Third one, manpower cost, and manpower attrition is so high. And so my point in this case is, let's try to use, my approach is, Government of India under ICT initiatives have given us excellent platforms like Swayam, India's first MOOCs platform, where courses are designed, developed, and delivered for the school education to the higher education, to faculty members, to the students. Why don't you make use of the material which is available over there in your online classes? Second one, Swayam Prabha, India's finest 32 free DTH channel. Why don't we make use of this content for the purpose? And it is available in the YouTube also. And recently, 2 months back, Honorable Finance Minister also said they are going to add a few more channels into that. Excellent, excellent initiative of Government of India. National Digital Library, NDL. Yes, that is another excellent option which is available with us, which we can able to make use of that. EPG Pathshala, and this is again prior to the Swayam MOOCs initiative. This is one of the finest platform, and many of you must have contributed into this one. Very good quality course contents are available. This is part number one. Apart from this, we have IIT Bombay Spoken Tutorial, FOSSI. There are many other ICT initiatives where government have already started. They are in place. So we should take whatever best which is available over there. Second point is about the OER. There's another different world, completely different new world. Open educational resources. We already know MIT. We already know Harvard. We already know Oxford, Yale, King's College. You name it. You name it. They are already having the open course contents are available. Creative Commons attributed contents are available. Certain legal ways. They are not copyrighted content, but using certain licensing considerations, they are going to place those things to with the firm. So we need to explore that. If these two options are failed, Remember carefully. If these two options are failed, then only we will be moving on to the third option called creating your own content. It could be video content, it could be a textual content, it could be an audio content, it could be a video, it could be some other any other content. So you need to get a, so these are all the competencies: searching the content, aligning with your work, searching the content from OER, aligning with your work, and creating your own content and aligning with your work. These are all the things are required to be done. These are the competencies which I've been talking about that. So the first point we discussed about the pedagogical thing. Second is we focused on the instructional design aspects. Third one is about the resources as such. And now let's come to in terms of building the competencies of the teachers for the online teaching. Let's look at the action plan. And I request all of you kindly read for a minute this 5 points so that I will elaborate in detail to you. Vikram, my screen is visible? No,
Yes,
no
sir.
problem.
Yes.
Great. Okay, point number 1. First thing I said, continue from where you have stopped. Yes, some of us are already teaching in a blended mode. Some of us are already moved on to that, but some of us got stuck up at certain level, and we want to move on to the online mode of a teaching. So what is important is continue from where. This is first important competency we had to build. At somewhere we had to start. And again, don't get into the academic kind of thing. कौन सा बढ़िया है, कौन सा अच्छा है, अरे क्या सोचेंगे students, ये करे वो. Don't do that. And I think I'm a lighter side. I said डरना मना है, because it is a learning. It is a learning, and don't think that no, I'm a professor. What the people? It's a learning. It's a new way of learning. Because what is important, once you have a control over the process, and your academic excellence will come. You have so much of academic excellence in a conventional classroom, and you're not, and it is the process you have to work on a day-to-day basis. Second important competency: provide the reading material, video content online, and bracket में मैंने ये भी कहा था, even if you are comfortable in email and WhatsApp, also start. Nothing wrong. But my main contention is, let's start using this online platforms. Basically, I intentionally left out online so that it's self-explanatory. Try to use the platforms, or otherwise start using it. Because the problem is, and we have been hearing from many of the students, no sir, I can't access this, I can't access that. But yes, but at the same time, try to see that which one is comfortable. It all depends on how the teacher convinces. Our job is to convince the students. Our job is to convince the people. I'm not saying that it is not a rocket science. It can be done. The third important point: provide the OER links to the learner for the further study. So you need to understand very thoroughly what is the OER and what constitutes the OER. What quality material is there every day. Even yesterday night, I got a message from one of my friend in Stanford. He said, look, this is what we have opened up, and can you share with your students? रातों रात में बैठ के उसको पूरा देख लिया, then I put it into my site. So it all depends on the interest. And because already something has been done, I need not reinvent the wheel. But only thing is, as per my objective, as per my lesson plan, as per my course plan, I need to align with my students. And always when I teach, when we all of us are teaching, we talk about our industry experience, we talk about our practical real-time experience, we always bring our research experience, we always write our other experiences also. So we are not only talking about ye aisa hi karo karke. Next, fourth important point is develop a video lecture. Many a times we have been feeling that the resource which you have identified may be too high or too low, because it depends on the level of the students, level of the class, and many other things. And always we try to improve upon the bar. This is what the institutions of the national import. Then only, of course, initially it may. So you try to create your own resources. Like many a times, the language is big issue. Many times people are saying that, sir, Delhi mein, and in my own class, many a times I teach in English, Hindi plus English, and but at the same time we have been comfortable because that is comfortable. But most of the time it is happening in English only. So my point in this case is, if you could able to generate something for your own students' learning acceptable, do it. And the last one is about this learning management systems are available. Excellent assessments options are available, and we can try to make use of. So these are all. This is the action plan for the building the competencies. Not necessarily it can be a one after the other, but it can be parallel also. Okay, let me come back to one very interesting thing. Last 6 months, probably I must have conducted around, addressed more than 25,000 plus and different, mostly 99% hands-on workshops, very barring very few 1 sessions, 2 sessions kind of a thing. But in general, there are 6 questions people have been asking to me, and again and again. So I thought maybe I'll just flag out those things while showing it here. The first point is, again, I have told you before, this is like a triangle, as I said already. On the one side, there's a hardware, and on the other side, there is a software, an enabling software, core and enabling software. The third important thing is the humanware component. And all 3 sides to do their job perfectly, then only the online teaching will be a success here. So first question is, what type of hardware exposure is needed for the online teaching? So if you are if you are using a laptop, I'm talking about the teacher point of view. And if you are using a laptop, you should be thorough. If you are using desktop, you should be thorough. If you are using a mobile phone, you should be thorough. And webcam, how to switch off the webcam, how to switch on the webcam, how to mute the microphone, many times. And now thanks to the system, we can unmute and we can mute. Many things have been happening but it's not happening because it is we are taking this one as an extra effort rather than as part of it. Apart from that, there are many stylus tablets are available. While delivering the lecture, I could straight away take the pointer and I can write down the pointer over here. And sometimes, without this pointer, I can also, if you want to write down, you can also write down. There is an external hardware devices are available, and those hardware devices also need to be used for recording your lecture. So these are all the hardware. Whatever hardware devices you are going to use for your online teaching, you should be thorough about that. That is first point. And hardware is very important. Second and third are the software component of that. There are 2 types of softwares are required for the online teaching and platforms. First one is we call it as a synchronous platform, or in other words, we call it as a live platform, like Google Meet. This workshop is happening in a Google Meet. And of course, Zoom is the one, Jitsi is there, WebEx, GoToMeeting, Microsoft Teams, you name it, there are many are there. And what is the question the faculty are asking? Even still yesterday, the faculty members are asking that question. Is it enough for the online teaching? I said, why? See, then I said, okay, I agree partially with you. So let me tell you that how you are teaching in your classroom, in a conventional classroom. Sir, actually I take a class for some time, and after taking the class, and I generally after the class is over, I dictate the notes to the students, and I said, so where is the component here? There should be some component of getting here and all. And my point in this case is, so there should be a component where once your class is over, they should go into read, or before your class, they should come to read. But why? So it is the live interaction platforms will provide an environment in such a way that it supports the classroom-like scenario. Because suddenly when we moved from a conventional classroom teaching where teachers are going to be used in a different manner, so Zoom is a savior at the end of the tunnel. But using only the learning, only the live interaction platform is not online teaching. You then also need to be supported with the learning management system, which is point number 3. And one of the easiest platform is Google Classroom, and the next best is Moodle, and next best is Canvas, next best is Edmondo. Everything is best, I'm not saying that, but what is important is what is the purpose for which you are going to use it. First one, you can access the learning material anytime, anywhere. The student can able to access, and it supports the self-study and promotes the learning and learners to pay space and time. And third important thing is it supports the collaborative learning and the team building, because these learning management systems have so many options are available. If you talk about, I don't want to compare the Google Classroom with Moodle, because both are learning management systems, but Moodle has a lot of edge over others, because it's first of all free, open source. Of course, it's not appropriate somebody is going to take that session, but it has got such a wonderful environment, and sky is the limit, because last almost 12 plus 13 plus years I'm using it. And many innovations we can able to do with the Moodle learning management system, and with this a zero costing solution. If you just visit and you can register with the Moodle, or yes, many of the institutions are using it. But unfortunately, what I have noticed that many institutions don't have a learning management system. And these live interaction platforms are also providing. See, I don't want to give in the name of, because Moodle was basically developed not a tool based. It is a learning central system which has been developed. And of course, this can be used for independent. So all three things are very important. Hardware, first point. Second one is a synchronous platform, like any platforms you can see. And the third one is the learning management system. And again, in this learning management system, you can upload the reading material, you can conduct the assessments, you can conduct the discussion forum kind of a thing, and you, of course, you can conduct the open book examinations. And if you have that system, like we are having the system in our university, we are running 2 huge courses on the Moodle platform, and it's a wonderful, very helpful, easy to use platform, provided if you plan it correctly. If you there are 2 important things are there. First of all, planning and planning for implementation. If these things are correct, and if give a proper training to the faculty members, things will work without any difficulty as such. Next 3 things. Point number 4, point number 5, point number 6 are related to the teacher. Okay, and it could be resources and preparation. Basically, people have been asking that, do I need to prepare it? I said no. You can first of all what is your lesson plan, and what as per your plan, as per your instructional design, because the 4-quadrant approach is very much there. That is the understanding teachers must be having. Second important thing is, and how do you identify the resources? That means you need to spend some extra time to search the resources on the screen. Third important thing is, and resources are available in Government of India ICT platform. Second important thing is Government of India and other state governments are also doing, and many topmost institutions are doing it. Second thing is OER, Open Educational Resources. Third one, if these 2 things does not meet your requirements, then create your own content. Coming to the assessments, Moodle supports 300 plus assessment methods: formative assessments, summative assessment, peer assessment, auto-graded, teacher reviewed, you name it, it is available. And also the questioning patterns also, and you can ask knowledge level plus application level, knowledge plus application plus analytical, knowledge plus application plus analytical plus critical thinking. It is the sky is the limit. But why when it comes to the multiple choice questions, why the people are not so comfortable? Because most of the time, I'm not saying that every institution, most of the institutions across India, I traveled length and breadth for the last 10 years. They are more focusing on the knowledge level. Generating a question of the knowledge level is much easier, and creating a question set, question bank for the application level. If you want to create a 50 application level questions, it takes minimum 15 days, because you need to have syllabus command, curriculum, and the level of the understanding, and of course what type of questions can be given. Again, these are all which some of us are already associated in this part as well. And of course, the methodology, the pedagogical approach, and instructional design need to be adopted. So in a nutshell, this is what typically is there. So when you look at the competencies of the teachers for the online teaching, first important thing is good subject expertise is required. Second one is planning, organization, verbal and non-verbal presentation skills, collaborative teamwork, काम कराना आना चाहिए, सबसे important, questioning strategies and other things. Apart from this, the other competencies like how do we search the resources, how do we create the resources, how do we filter out the resources, and how do we upload it and into YouTube or Vimeo or TeacherTube, or there are many options are there. And hardware exposure is very important, and exposure on other platforms are very important here. Before moving on to the roadmap for online teaching, let me come back to the screen once again, and I just want to see that there are in any specific questions are over there. I'll try to look at. I have come back, Vikram. I have come back to the main screen. I just want to see that. There are any specific questions. I'm just looking over there, Professor. Yes. I think completely I agree with you, ma'am. And there are issues. Definitely, these issues are already earlier also there, and of course, and I think under Digital India campaign, Government of India is also doing their best to do the needful. And my voice is little low. I've been somebody saying, Vikram.
It is
just confirm to me. My voice is low. Vikram. Can you hear me, Vikram? I can't hear you. Yeah, friends, can you confirm to me that anyone can open their microphone and say that am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir. There are few noise.
Vikram, I can't hear you. But I could able to see your picture, but I can't hear you. Okay. Let me move on to the next part of it. But just confirm to me that. Hello.
Now your presentation is visible, sir.
Sorry.
Your presentation is now visible.
No. I have moved out of it. I'm just asking that my voice is audible or not. That's what I've been asking.
Your voice is clear.
Okay.
Now it is clear, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. So now let me move on to the roadmap for online teaching. Just confirm to me, Dr. Vikram, the roadmap is coming on your screen now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So friends, the roadmap is basically is talking about, there are 6 sections are there. And these 6 sections, actually, I'll be talking about. The section 1 is, there are 6 steps are there. Step 1 is basically talks about the set up the mind. Because what happened, you see, ideal conditions never happens. And you tell me which institution is having an ideal conditions. Every condition we had to make it the way we should use it. And many a times it happens. So one of the important thing which I just want to bring to your kind attention is set up your mind towards the online teaching. Many of my friends have been saying that And you know, last to last month, NIT Warangal has requested me to conduct, and we have a team of people working over there. And we conducted a workshop, and you know, subsequently they started working, and it has been into in the mode as such. So what is important for me in this case is set up the mind for the online teaching is very important. Second important point, once we were not made up our mind, one very importantly, because ideals are different and practical is totally different. And if you are not comfortable, जैसे बोलते हैं ना तन मन धन से, and many a times what happened, we may not be visualizing what we are going to get. Something will happen, but it will not the one which was supposed to get it. So the second important, and very importantly, because it requires a planning, it requires organization. It's organizing your course. It's not, and that way in the public place it has to be done. And the next important thing is about and we need to make a broad basic decision. Friends, I think whatever I have been telling here, everything is available on my site, and there are the presentations I've already uploaded there, and you can able to cross check it over there. Step 2 is basically talks about the make broad basic decisions. Broad basic decisions in terms of the modes of session. So how much percentage, what platform is going to be used, and how much percentage is going to be used in asynchronous platform? What about the synchronous, and how about percentage? Second one is about the pedagogy and technological pedagogy and instructional design issues. And then comes the assessments. Are we taking all options, teacher reviewed and peer reviewed, and auto graded? Our option. And what was the define the role of the students and the teachers? What role teachers are going to play? What role students are going to play? And what about the interaction levels and the feedback mechanism? This is very, very, very important. It has to be written minutely. This is what precisely is saying. It's not a software. It's not a platform. Without that, what happened tomorrow? Again, I'm telling you, people like us again will come back to your institutions to do the academic audit. 100% we are going to look at those things. So what I am trying to say that already, because people are looking for the best practices, and people always look for NIT Kurukshetra. People are always look for very good institutions of national importance. So naturally, that is where we need to demonstrate that. Coming to the third important step is on select the appropriate learning management system and try to understand the system first before using. Very important point. So whichever the learning management system you are comfortably to use it, we list about that. But try to understand the system first, number one. Number two, then try to apply your requirements. So, okay, system may be having 300 applications or 300 assessment methods, but what are the methods you are going to use as internal assessment? How do you see the learning happens? And of course, apart from that, we are also going to give many hands. Right now, our labs were little, the issues are there, but still we can have the virtual lab kind of a thing where if you can register it out. And so similarly it works. And it could be Moodle platform, or it could be a Google Classroom platform, it could be a Edmondo platform, or it could be a Canvas. Even I can go up to the extent of using the Google Sites and WhatsApps and Telegrams also. Because what happened, for example, 90% of the students are in a place where network connectivity is not there. And how do we reach them? So you try to see that first of all, we'll say that no, everybody should be like this. But if they can't able to reach it, if they can't able to work it, so naturally this option can be done. And fourth, and very importantly, we need to know very clearly about how do we plan our class? How many weeks are we going to teach? 14 weeks, 15 weeks, 20 weeks? What is the broad objectives of this paper, and how the objectives has to be spread across into that? Then accordingly, the content need to be provided. Even I'll tell you one more small thing here. I always involve my students into my class, and whenever I provide a reading material, I say as a tagline, to the best of my ability, in that expert in that area, I have provided you the reading material. If you find something better than the one which is over there, which supports and improve our learning in this particular topic, you are free to do that. Many a times students are coming forward, are saying that सर ये आर्टिकल अच्छा है सर, इस आर्टिकल को भी हम यहाँ यूज कर लेंगे. So what I'm trying to say, if you involve the students, one of the advantage in this part would be, we need to know, and of course they are also equal stakeholders, okay, and let them involve it. Let them bring that positive intent among our students, that we are all learning together. Okay, so it could be the all sort of videos, e-text, audio, and other things. And next, sorry. Next 3 important things about step 5, step 6, and step 7 is precisely talking about the collaboration. So we want to see that before putting into that, let's try to identify. And nowadays, so wonderful collaborative platforms like Padlets and Jamboards and Google Drives are available. Let's try to make use of them and try to see that let's have a brainstorm kind of a thing, and addressing the issues. And nothing is that carpet. And again, if you are having a 40 years of standing in teaching, if you are a topmost, top rated, and only thing is, people are expecting you to deliver. That's all. Nobody is going to look at anything else other than that. So what I'm trying to say, that always strive for your best. You be in your I always used to tell to my students that you stand on your strength. Don't stand on someone's weakness. It is your strength first of all. Again, yes. Then your weakness, your challenges, and other things, how do you convert back into your strength? You have to strive for the best, because online teaching is not a one-day job. Tomorrow, what happened? People have been asking me one more very interesting question. Tomorrow, if this pandemic will eased out both nationally and internationally, what is the need of using these things? Let's use it in a blended mode. Who stops you? Let's use it in a blended mode. The point in this case is, and it is all important, that you should be a practitioner. One of my friends used to tell me a nice sentence. He always say that online teaching is a religion which need to be practiced first. So you need to practice first. Unless and until you practice, and you need to see that, and again you need to enjoy it. Then try to see that innovation and creativity things will come. And the last point, you always need to review, fine tune, and move ahead. There is a scope for improvement, and you cannot happen overnight. It takes a process. It takes a procedure to move on into that. So this is about the roadmap which I've been talking about that. And there is okay now but what we have talked about, it's a hardware is very much, exposure on hardware is very much required. Exposure on live interaction platforms and the learning management systems is required for your online teaching. And of course and apart from all these things need to be done by the teacher concerned, and teacher has to do. So the exposure on the pedagogy, the exposure on the instructional design, and the exposure on the other processes would be there. And I'll spend some next 5 minutes on one of the important. So now everything is there with us. We have a clarity on that. What are the other things to improve upon? Because there are certain in my site there is a nice article which is basically talks about the online course best practices checklist. You kindly go through this article which is over there, and an American college, I've been using this one quite some time, so I request you to kindly go through this article and get benefit out of it. This is basically prepared by an American college long back, and this has got 6 sections. Basically now the online course in terms of your learning management system part as such, and here there are 3 components are there. One, teacher; second, content; third one, the student. So what is important is there are totally 6 sections are there in this particular document. And what is important for me is how nicely, how creatively, how innovatively you balance these 6 sections. Your success and failure of your online course depends on that. They have created a nice checklist also. I think I request all of you kindly go through this one and you can take a benefit out of it. Vikram, my screen is visible clearly?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. The section 1 is talking. So it is I'm talking about from a general perspective. You look this document from the teacher point of view. You look this document first of all from the teacher point of view, and it gives you a lot of insights. What are the things should be there in your course? And then later you look this document as a student point of view. It gives you a lot of inputs. What are the things to be there? Later, you can look this document through the a content point of view, and of course, many other things it gives. Gives a nice checklist also. You can cross check. ये checklist ऐसा दे रखा है कि ताकि आपको एक चीज पता चले कि हाँ भाई ये होना चाहिए. Simply, for example, the section 1. This is again the competency. And because we are going to use the Moodle learning management system where assessment will be talked, content will be talked, and many other things will be talked. So what is this course information section is primarily talking about is syllabus and the course information, including objectives and learning outcomes, course requirements, and academic integrity to be there. And you see there are many points are there. What is my thumb rule in this case is if you put 40 to 45% tick marks while looking at your online course, your course is on the right track. Of course, there is a scope for the improvement also. Second important section is on course design and organization. Very important. Already I have mentioned some of the things, and you can go through this. Aesthetic design is also very important in the online course, where the other things also matters a lot. In Swayam platform or in NPTEL, many things are being managed by the NPTEL team there in Bharati and all. Their team they'll manage it. But basically what happened, you can also do something better if you can use these things in your own course. And fourth section is talking about the interaction and the collaboration. Okay, and this is where the success of the course will be mostly dependent on that. This is basically extent to which there is a student instructor, student and student content interaction, and of course exemplary courses are also many other things. And coming to the section 5, effective use of technology. There are different ways and means and technology and technological options, tools we are going to use it, that will be done. And the last point is assessment and evaluation. This is again a very, very important component of your online teaching. This is the process in which the student is being evaluated to achieve towards the achieving the student learning outcomes. Because tomorrow in this workshop, you will be giving exposure on creating using the different assessment methods also. It could be formative, it could be summative, it could be peer assessment, or it could be teacher graded, auto teacher reviewed, or auto graded, or peer reviewed. And whatever it may be the case, then this is what precisely you had to properly focus and properly work on that. So these are the 6 segments. I request all of you, it's available on my site, and I request all of you kindly go through this document. And so this is one of the important competency, friends. Very important competency for a good quality online course. Okay, and again, I'm part of a team where IIT Chennai, IIT Mumbai, and IIM we are working, and MHRD has constituted a team of trainers to train the faculty members whose courses have been approved in this Swayam platform. And we have been training them, and all these aspects we'll be talking about that, so that ultimately our purpose is good quality course, so that it gives a wonderful opportunity for us to improve upon and do the needful as such. And let me come to the ICT initiatives which I just referred. One of the notable thing which I just want to bring to your kind attention: Andhra Pradesh CC, Commissionerate of Collegiate Education, 4 years back in NIT Warangal, they have a E&ICT Academy. During that time, Professor Somyajilu, my close friend, was there as the director. Now he's a IIIT Kurnool director. We have conducted a training program for 600 college faculty members, and on content development and content delivery. Friends, I must tell you and place on record, very good effort they have made, and of course it is in Telugu, if you could able to understand. But I request all of you kindly go through this site, and you see that what kind of a nice effort which has been done by the government of by the state. And similarly Telangana also, and recently Andhra Pradesh Higher Education Council has requested us to conduct a training program for almost 200 plus engineering faculty, and we were part of the team, and with my IIIT and NIT faculty come along with us. Yes, Swayam, as I already mentioned to you, this is the platform where we can take a benefit out of it, because the content is very much over there. It is by CC by SA format, it is available, and which can be used. Swayam Prabha, this is a site as which I've already mentioned, and these are the resources. Excellent resources are available, and even it is available in the YouTube also, so we can make use of the platform. NDL, yes, we are all part of the NDL, and we have been using it, and as you know that it has got content from the law to the literature to the management to the humanities, and of course sciences to the engineering. So much good quality content is available over there. It is to be used in our courses. And again, there is one small statement I want to make. I don't want to make the things come. People have been saying, sir, ye copyrighted hai, ye karna. And first and foremost thing, try to avoid those things if it is a copyrighted, number one. And always try to see that good quality Creative Commons material, Creative Commons OER material is available. Okay. And for example, if sometimes if you are using it, I did it many times. I always gives the source. I always refer them. I always attribute to the extent possible. And many a times, I sent a mail to the author saying that, sir, I found an interesting article. I'm working in a non-profit making Government of India institution located in Delhi, and for my research students or for this article, I'm going to use it. Believe me, friends, many faculty members have said yes. No, I have never come across. So, but always I try to say that, sir, actually the reference has been given, the source has been mentioned, this has been taken from this. Yes, some cases they said no, it is copyrighted, it is only meant for peer-reviewed journals, and stop using it. So this is what precisely I've been saying. I don't want to have a too much discussion on that front which I've been there. And PG Pathshala, yes, again, excellent initiative of ICT initiative of Government of India. And for the school education, and again, I want to bring, because some of your spouse may be in school, excellent initiative by the NCERT, our sister concern institution. We are located in the same campus. NROER, National Repository for Open Educational Resources, excellent platform. Yes, IIT Bombay spoken tutorial, we all know from years. And POSSE also we know, Sakshat is there, virtual labs. And of course, there are many other options which are being available over there and which can be used. I think some message is over here, and let me just move on back to the message front and see that somebody wrote a message over here. And let me, because shifting over is, yeah. Okay. I'll come back. So that is those are the initiatives I've already said. And there is Vikram. How much more
Sir.
time I have? How much more time I have?
Yeah, actually, it is planned for 12:30 only, so it is up to you now, sir.
Yeah,
So we can close here. We can close by 12:30 and we'll start by 2:30 itself. So that's up to you, sir.
Okay. Another 5-10 minutes time I required, and I'll just
sure, sir. Sure.
Yeah. So second point is about the OER, and of course the definitions are very much over there. I just want to bring you one more new dimension. I think also, friends, these dimensions. Of course, mine is available over there on my site. Apart from that, there are two more important competencies every teacher must be having it. One is about the effective utilization of the cloud storage options. Now, stop putting the data in C drive, D drive, E drive, and F drive. It's always try to put in your, because since all of us are got connected with the G Suite for education, so we have got the institutional IDs over there. And the next one is about the YouTube. And of course, YouTube is one of the famous repository which we all of us are using it, and also that can be done and used. Okay, let me bring to you this one more dimension of. So what I've been trying to say that I think this is what I've been told to Dr. Vikram also. Let's start taking one small sample course of a 1 week course of I must say that with the 2 topics of your choice. Okay, let me just show you that part for a minute, and just have a look on your screen. And I think this otherwise what happened, this looks only a theoretical point of view, but some of the practice can be done. What I'm suggesting in this case is, if you look at on your screen, there is some data capturing format over there is there. Okay, and what it is trying to show, I hope you could able to see it on your screen.
Yes.
Dr. Vikram?
Yes.
Yeah. And so the task what I am trying to give you is you try to learn, because I have told you a lot of inputs about the designing. Now the second point is development also I throw, and delivery, assess, and interact will be done by the other resource persons, and they will talk about. And what you can say that your task is to design a 1 week course. Don't ask me that how many hours. Don't get into that hours business. 2.5 घंटा, 2 घंटा, 1.5 घंटा, 1.25 घंटा, 1 घंटा, वो छोड़ो, उसके माथे मत पढ़ना. So what I am trying to say that you can create a table like this. It is available on my site. If you visit profksrinivas.in, let me just take you for a minute. This is my site. I have already told you. This is profksrinivas.in. Vikram, is it visible? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes.
In this site you can see there is a online workshop resources link is there, and if you just click on the link, and it takes you to the several folders so many information which is required to be used can be done. Okay, now what I'm moving back to this the data capturing format for e-resources. Basically what happened, planning your course is very important. This is what I'm starting. Don't start from the software point of view. Okay, I don't know whether you have been teaching now. When I started my coding time, there used to be one technique called PLT. We call it as programming logic technique. Okay, and we taught for some time also. Then we moved to Fortran, then we moved to Copal and other. Basically, we need to develop the structure and we need to plan the course. Similarly, here also, the task which I am giving you is you are going to design, develop, deliver, assess, and interact a 1 week online course with the 2 topics of your subject choice. You may be electrical, you may be mechanical, you may be ECE, and you may be metallurgy, art, sciences, physics, any subject for that matter you can take. And what is required here is course name has to be written, a brief introduction, 1-liners to be written, Objective, basically this is only a orientation kind of a thing, just objective. Expected outcome, again one-liners, and what you are going to cover, topic 1 and topic 2. And what is I'm asking here is little bit of information is there. So you prepare one small course introductory video. In this workshop, there is a scope to give orientation about how to create your own videos. There are simple applications are available. One of the application which all of us are started using quite comfortably is OBS Studio, a simple tool. And I hope they are going to demonstrate that one. And there is one more tool called Presentation Tube is very much available. And Screencast-O-Matic. These are some of the things which on a day-to-day basis, we all of us are using it. And someone's microphone is on, Vikram, please. Yeah. And second one, there are some screen capturing tools are there, like Screencastify, very simple tool. FreeCam, no limit on time. You can put 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Such a nice options are available. I request to all of you kindly make use of this kind of a things to use in the system. Okay, and similarly prepare one small content. I think these are all the tasks I am indirectly telling to Dr. Vikram, and he will get it done. And I am there in that WhatsApp group, friends. I'm telling you all these things. I am going to post it if it is required, and I will be there with you for some time also, as I promised, at least for 30 days. So, and as far as the 1 week course content is concerned, try to arrange the content like this. First of all, go with the video lectures. And for the video resources, prepare a table like this: serial number, level of the resource, source, video link, and the remarks. Okay, and try from the Swayam Prabha, NDL, and EPG Pathshala. Our NPTEL is also part of the Swayam, so I'm not exclusively talking about the NPTEL here. It is part of our system. And second, take at least one resource if it is possible, and take one resource from the OER sources. And of course, as I already earlier mentioned, develop your own content from here. Similarly, put the table like this, and why the remarks are required. And you can share this one with your a person who is senior to you and an expert in that subject area. Will it be okay to go well? And this is about the text resources. Similarly, same thing can be done for the image type of resources. Same thing can be done of the audio type of resources. What I'm trying to say that this is about the resources. Similarly, you can plan something for the assessments also. Okay, similarly, you can plan for the discussion forum, because there is a 4-quadrant approach, and this approach has to be, I repeat once again, the task which I wish you should start working is about the designing a 1 week course. While designing the 1 week course, what is important is course name is required, brief introduction is required, at least one objective is required, one expected outcome is required, and for the topic 1 and topic 2 outlines are required. Now coming to the course development, content development, first and foremost thing, our approach is try to use the existing material which is available there in the Swayam platform, or Swayam Prabha, or NDL, or EPG Pathshala, and coming to OER and other things. And now this third one is delivery. Delivery in the sense, you had to select the appropriate delivery platform, whether it could be a Moodle platform, whether it could be a Google Classroom platform, whether it could be an Edmondo, whether it could be a Canvas, any platform. Platform is irrelevant to me. But what is important is how best the online course which you are going to teach will be required to be fit into that. What are the features are going to be used? Please try to understand. We never ever use all the features of the software, and don't carry it away. Don't carry it away the features which is being available over there. कई बार हमें यूज ही नहीं करते बहुत सारे features. But what is important is whatever features you are using, are they providing a value addition to the students' learning? Are they providing a value addition for the quality assessments? Are they providing the value addition to the quality discussion forum, a collaborative learning environment? That is very important. Then same thing with the assessment part, the same thing with the interaction part. And this is what precisely I want to say. I can stop here. I will come back to that screen where I have started. And this, as I rightly said, these things are already available over there in the in my site also. And as I promised, friends, I will be there with you for 30 days. And my sincere and request to you all, such a wonderful initiative, our NIT Kurukshetra in association with other institution in Jaipur has been done. I think let's make use of the maximum out of it. And you know, again, very importantly, there are many people in this forum who are experts. There are many people who are the beginners. But what is important is having an expertise and try to bring to that level of the person. It's more important, because now we are facing the pandemic, and we don't know, as mentioned in the beginning, we don't know when it will be eased out. And you know, we had to think twice to send the kids to the colleges. So till time, and at the same time, there is a lot of negative vibes are about the online teaching and all. It's a try to understand. Just imagine the scenario on the first day for your career when you are teaching. I'm telling you my own experience. I see programming, I write both hands, left hand and right hand. First day, when I was there in a MTech first year class with C programming, I was within 15 minutes, I prepared so much. Within 15 minutes, everything stopped. And later I realized that what I mistake, I did it. So slowly, then next day, third day, luckily there is a gap of 1 week. And one of the senior professor, no, he's not a professor, he's a lab supportive staff. He came to me saying that, sir, आप तो पढ़ाते हैं, बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाया, sir, आपका क्लास तो उस दौरान तो 55 मिनट का होता था. Sir, it was a 55 minutes class, sir. And you had to take 10 minutes for the attendance, 45 minutes. You because like a US standard, you started everything from the scratch. I said, maybe, you know, it really helped me a lot. And what I'm trying to say, that everything comes with an experience. And whatever, that's what I've been saying, learn, unlearn, and relearn is the mantra. And to sum up, I wish to say that technology, the effectiveness of the technology and technology enabled things, directly proportional to the competency and the intention of the teacher. If the competency building was not done rightly, and the intent was not, again, positive intent we had to create. We had to create the positive intent, at least, so then only the things will start happening. Okay. I can stop it here. If you have any doubts, questions, comments, queries, and you can post it.
Yes.
And
so we can wait for the questions, sir.
Surely.
Or maybe we can, so let's wait for at least 1 or 2 minutes for questions. So one question I have particularly, and today morning itself, I got a call from HOD of computer science, and he asked me to find out the possible virtual labs to conduct labs for Linux and Unix. So I was exploring a lot of options.
So there are 3 virtual. See, one is Amrita University in South is conducting that, and right. IIIT Hyderabad is facilitating that. Number 2, IIIT Hyderabad and Amrita University, and of course our IIIT IIT Kharagpur is one such which is also providing that facility. And now I think Government of India is seriously thinking, and many institutions. But only problem is about the issue of you know. Of course, I have a good server. Because let me just deviate for a second for a little technical thing. See what happened when we are setting up of the servers. We have a L3 switches and L2 switches and connectivity. And many of the cases, recently I have been trying to access one of the institution server, and it is putting so many things, bottlenecks. आधा घंटे के बाद मुझे लगा यार छोड़ो, इससे बेहतर मेरे खुद के लिनक्स सर्वर में ही मैं चोरा सिमुलेशन चला सकता हूँ. So these are all some of the things, but I think the first 3 institutions are very good. You can able to explore that.
Yes. So only I think limitation is because in these institutions, this virtual lab facility is created for only few limited courses. So that's something which is left constraint for each course instructor.
And see, the problem is we never anticipated this pandemic will last for so many things and so many time also. So I think there are many innovative options will be definitely required to do the needful as such.
Right. So I think with this, actually, we have not got any specific question. We are getting compliments for you, sir, for the discussions which we have conducted right now. So I think we can close this session now and we'll join by 2:30, sir.
Okay.
So I request participant to be there by 2:30. I think, right, sir?
Yeah, I'm happy to interact with them on the virtual platform also. And one more small important thing I forget to tell you.
Right.
There is an instructional design MHRD survey I'm conducting. I think I request I'll post it in the WhatsApp group, and
Right.
I request you to participate. All the participants also need to participate on that.
Sure, sir.
The reason primarily is it is also giving an option for us that where do we stand on a because in the context of the new educational policy also that can be done. Thank
Sure,
you very
sir.
much. Thank you very
Right,
much
sir.
for giving me this opportunity to interact with you all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.